హలో స్టూడెంట్స్, వెల్కమ్ టు తిరుమల క్లాసెస్. ఈరోజు మనం ఐవీసీ గురించి మాట్లాడుకుంటున్నాం. అంటే ఎన్సీఆర్టీ హిస్టరీ 6th క్లాస్లో చాప్టర్ 3 ఇది మనం ఎర్లీ సిటీస్ ఇన్ ఇండియా గురించి మాట్లాడుకుంటాం. అంటే ఇండియాలో ఫస్ట్ టైం అర్బన్ లైఫ్ ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అయింది. జనరల్గా ఈరోజు మనం టౌన్స్ చూస్తూ ఉంటాం, మెట్రో సిటీస్ ఆర్ కాస్మోపాలిటన్ సిటీస్ చూస్తూ ఉంటాం. బట్ ఫర్ ద ఫస్ట్ టైం ఇన్ ఇండియా వెన్ డిడ్ వీ హ్యాడ్ దిస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ అర్బన్ సెంటర్స్ ఇన్ ఇండియా? బేసికల్గా మీరు తీసుకుంటే ప్రపంచం మొత్తంలో వీ హ్యావ్ 3 అర్బన్ థింగ్స్. ఐ మీన్ టు సే దెర్ ఆర్ 3 to 4 civilizations. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, civilization in Egypt, civilization in Mesopotamia, civilization in India, civilization in China. These are the 4 urban centers we can see in the world for the first time. When I say Egypt, Mesopotamia, India and China, we can see for the first time civilization. Sir, what do you mean by civilization? Using advanced technology can be called as civilization. When did we see civilization in India? For the first time in India, civilization was seen at a place called Harappa, which is also called as Indus Valley Civilization, approximately 2300 BC. This is the first time civilization that we have seen in India. ఈరోజు మనం ఇండియాలో ఉన్న ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ సివిలైజేషన్ లేదా హరప్పన్ సివిలైజేషన్ గురించి మాట్లాడుకుంటాం. వీఆర్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ద థింగ్స్ దట్ ఆర్ ప్రెజెంట్ ఇన్ యువర్ 6th class చాప్టర్ 3 NCERT. We also talking little more additional information about it. Let us discuss what is this Indus Valley civilization. First time, there are civilization centers across the world. One center present in India is Indus Valley civilization. As I told you already, in the initial phase, human settlement was on the banks of river. Human settlement was on the banks of river. Why? Because water availability, rock availability, so that they can live easily, they can cultivate easily, and they can also use the rocks for hunting purposes. That is the reason why the maximum civilizations across the world was happened on river banks. The maximum civilization in India was happened on river banks. ఇండియాలో అలాంటి ఒక సివిలైజేషన్ ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ సివిలైజేషన్. ఇట్ టుక్స్ అప్రాక్సిమేట్లీ 2300 years ago. Let us see the concept that is present here, the story of Harappa. సార్, ఎందుకని మనం ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ సివిలైజేషన్ మనం హరప్పన్ సివిలైజేషన్ అని కూడా పిలుస్తూ ఉంటాం? వాట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్? ద ఫస్ట్ సైట్ దట్ వి ఫౌండ్ ఇన్ ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ వాస్ Harappa. That is the reason why Indus Valley civilization is also known as Harappan civilization. దీని స్టోరీ ఏంటంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ 150 years ago, అంటే ఇండియా వాజ్ డ్యూరింగ్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ కొలోనియల్ రూల్. భారతదేశాన్ని బ్రిటిషర్స్ పరిపాలిస్తున్న టైంలో దేర్ వాజ్ ఎ రైల్వే ట్రాక్. బేసికలీ communication, transportation was brought in India by Britishers. When the Britishers laying a railway track in Punjab for easy transportation purpose, they have discovered Harappan site. They have discussed Harappan site where amount of bricks were available. They used all these burnt bricks for the construction of railway track and other purposes. Later on, British archaeologists went there and they studied and they said, this is not something like an accident. This is an evidence of large civilization that was happened in India. Later we call it as Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization. Later we call it as Harappan or Indus Valley civilization. And they were dated back to this around 4700 years back. Sir, when you say Harappan civilization, we have early Harappan civilization, later Harappan civilization. There are 3 phases divided by archaeologists. Basically, we call them as Harappan civilization was belonged to approximately 4700 years ago. Here I can say 3 classification: early Harappan civilization or middle Harappan, and next one the later Harappan civilization. Why IVC is known as Harappan? Because it is the first site and it is the oldest site. Look at this. What was the special about these cities that we have found on the banks of river Indus? Look at this. The IVC is the first urban civilization in India. Indus Valley civilization is the first urban civilization in India. First urban means we have modern construction like using burnt bricks, there was using of jewelry, there was roads, there was a proper drainage system, there was a seals, there was artifacts. This is like today when you see the urban center, how it looks like a city. The same way Indus Valley city was there. I mean to say Harappa, Mohenjo-daro and many more cities was there as a part of Indus Valley civilization. They are having very good urban culture, which means they have very good technology. Today we are having drainage, well-defined drainage system. The same drainage system was there during Harappan time, which means today we have urban culture. The same urban culture was present in 4,700 years to like 2,300 and so on. We call it as Indus Valley civilization, better known for urban civilization. Look at this. Many of these cities were divided into 2 or more parts. For example, what are many of these cities? Let us say Harappa is a city, Lothal is a city, Kalibangan is a city, Mohenjo-daro is the city. Like that we can have number of cities that are present in Indus Valley civilization. All the cities were divided into 2 or more parts. What do you mean by 2 or more parts? For example, when I say this is, let us say, a city, 2 or more parts. Sir, one is called as the plain area, the next one is called elevated area or a little more upper part. This is one part of the city, this is another part of the city. Generally, in the lower part of the city, it was meant for residence for common people. Upper part of the city is meant for residing the ruler class, priest class, trading classes. And meaning the poor people or common people living in the plains, the rich people and priests and rulers, traders, they are living in elevated areas. Living in where? Elevated. Like ఈ రోజుల్లో కూడా చాలా మంది జూబ్లీ హిల్స్లో కొంతమంది ఉంటారు, దాని పక్కన కొంతమంది ఉంటారు. మీన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్వేస్ ఎలివేటెడ్ ఏరియా ఈజ్ నోన్ ఫర్ లివింగ్ ద రిచ్ పీపుల్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంటుంది. Can I say this is one part of the city, this is another part of the city. Like that in Indus Valley civilization, the cities were divided 2 or more parts. What do you mean by 2 or more parts? One is a plain area, next one elevated area. This elevated area basically known as Citadel. This elevated area basically known as Citadel. In this elevated area, there is also surrounded by a wall. This entire structure can be called as Citadel. Entire structure is called Citadel. Look at this. The west part was smaller, but it is on higher lands. We call it as Citadel. And the easternmost part, the eastern part was large, but very lower. I mean to say, it is in little low-lying areas. In upper areas, we have rich people. It is a west side. East side, it is a low area where the poor people or common man is living. It is a large area, but people are living at lower class. It is a small area and at elevated place and upper or rich class people living here. Hence, we can see in Indus Valley civilization, there is no caste system, but there is a class system. Like upper class, lower class. Upper class people living in Citadel, that is on west side. Upper class, lower class. Upper class living in Citadel, lower class living in plain areas or low-lying areas. This is how the Indus Valley cities was divided into 2 or more parts. One is elevated, next one plain. Elevated can be called Citadel, meant for rich people, whereas low-lying areas are like meant for common people. This indicates that IVC law, there is no caste system, but there is a presence of class system. What is a class? Upper class and lower class. Clear, right? Yes. When you go to the Indus Valley civilization, I said Citadel, I said drainage system is also present. They're all made up of baked brick walls. What do you mean by baked bricks? There are 2 types of bricks. One is a burnt brick, another one is unburnt brick. When I say burnt brick, we call it as baked brick. In IVC, at maximum places, they used burnt bricks to construct the walls, to construct the drainage system, and many more. Why, sir? The burnt brick is more stronger than the normal bricks. Again, how they arranged? All the bricks were arranged in interlocking system. ఈరోజు మీరు మోడర్న్ టెంపుల్స్ కానీ యాన్షియంట్ టెంపుల్స్ కానీ చూస్తే ఓన్లీ స్టోన్ పైన స్టోన్ పెట్టి వాటిని కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేస్తుంటారు. ద టెక్నిక్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ ఇంటర్లాకింగ్ టెక్నిక్. దే యూజ్ ఇంటర్లాకింగ్ టెక్నిక్స్ వైల్ కన్స్ట్రక్టింగ్ ద walls, rooms and residences of IVC people. Look, the bricks were laid in an interlocking pattern and which made walls very stronger. మనకు చూడటానికి అది బ్రిక్ పైన బ్రిక్ పెట్టినట్టే ఉంటుందమ్మా, బట్ దే యూజ్డ్ ఎ టెక్నిక్ కాల్ ఇంటర్లాకింగ్ టెక్నిక్. ఇది ఎక్కువగా టెంపుల్స్లో వాడుతూ ఉంటారు. యాన్షియంట్ టెంపుల్స్లో ఇంటర్లాకింగ్ టెక్నిక్ వాడటం వల్ల దెర్ వాజ్ వెరీ స్ట్రాంగ్ వాల్స్ కన్స్ట్రక్టెడ్ బై యూజింగ్ దిస్ bricks. In some cities, there were special buildings were constructed generally on the Citadel. And a Citadel is nothing but elevated areas. Akkada konni special buildings undevi. Special buildings for upper class people, special buildings for their meetings, for their spiritual activities. There will be like upper class. Look at this. Mohenjo-daro is the best example for special building. We can say a special tank, we call it as great bath. Mohenjo-daro there was a special let us say swimming pool kind of thing. This is exactly we call it as great bath. This great bath is having like steps from both the ends, steps from both the ends. This is totally constructed by burnt bricks by using mortar. Nearby there are some wells. The water are from these wells. Once the bath is done, there is an outlet. The water will go to the drainage system. Across this great bath, there was several rooms were constructed so that whenever they took a holy dip in this, they can change the clothes there around. I mean to say, the great bath which is present in Mohenjo-daro is purely meant for upper class people to have a ritual bath. Ritual bath in the sense, whenever there is an occasion, special day, special ritual, people go and have a dip into it and then performing rituals. So the great bath was found in a city called Mohenjo-daro. It was found in where? Mohenjo-daro. Very, very important. Next, the rooms on all the sides. I told this great bath, all the sides, there are several rooms. The important people took a dip in this particular tank on special occasions. When I say special occasions, we call them while performing rituals. While performing rituals, జనరల్గా మనం ఏదైనా రిచువల్ పెర్ఫామ్ చేసేటప్పుడు లైక్ నదిలోకి వెళ్ళి స్నానం చేసి వస్తాం, లేకుంటే ఒక బావిలోకి వెళ్ళి స్నానం చేసి వస్తాం. ఆ టైంలో ఐవీసీ టైంలో వాళ్ళకి గ్రేట్ బాత్ అనేది ఉండేది. అప్పర్ క్లాస్ పీపుల్ వైల్ పెర్ఫార్మింగ్ లైక్ ఇట్ కెన్ బి ఎ బ్రాహ్మణ్, ఇట్ కెన్ బి ఎనీ వన్ belonging to upper class. On the special occasions when they are performing something, they will take a holy dip in this great bath present in Mohenjo-daro. Other cities that are present in Indus Valley civilization, vachesi there is a Kalibangan, it is also urban center. Like Lothal, it is also urban center. Sir, Kalibangan, Lothal, Kalibangan, we have seen fire altars. Kalibangan, we have seen bangles. We have seen what? Bangles. And Kalibangan, we have seen fire altars. Lothal is the port city. Lothal is the port city. Sir, what do you mean by port city? This Indus Valley people have the trade relations with Mesopotamia, Egypt and other parts of the world. Sir, how do you know that these people are having a trade relations? Because మన ఇండస్ వ్యాలీలో కొన్ని సీల్స్ ఉంటాయమ్మా. సీల్స్ అంటే ముద్రలు అనేవి. ఆ సీల్స్ అక్కడ దొరికాయి, అలాగే వాళ్ళ సీల్స్ మనకి ఇక్కడ దొరకడం జరిగింది. దిస్ ఈస్ ఎన్ ఎవిడెంట్ దట్ ఎస్ దేర్ వాజ్ ఎ ట్రేడ్ బిట్వీన్ ఐవీసీ పీపుల్ అండ్ అదర్ అర్బన్ కల్చర్ అక్రాస్ ద వరల్డ్. ఫర్ దట్ దే యూజ్డ్ ద సీల్. బట్ హౌ వుడ్ దే వెంట్ ఫర్ దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ట్రేడ్ అండి? దే యూజ్డ్ బోట్స్. Boat means we need a port. Lothal is the artificial dockyard. Lothal is the artificial dockyard that was present in IVC. Look again, Kalibangan and Lothal. These are the two cities where we can see fire altars. These fire altars can be used for what? Sacrifices performance. When do you use the fire? To perform some rituals. When do you use the great bath? While performing some rituals. It says very clearly, the Indus Valley people are very particular about their religion, their class system, but there is no caste system. Clear, right? There are other cities in IVC. Let us say Mohenjo-daro, Harappa. When I say Mohenjo-daro, it is also called Mound of Dead. Why it is called Mound of Dead? There we found a group of dead bodies. Hence we call Mohenjo-daro Mound of Dead. Harappa, it is the first city that we discussed in IVC. That is why IVC is also called as Harappan civilization. Next one is a Lothal. Lothal is, I told you already, this is an artificial dockyard that is present in Gujarat. Very important. Where we have seen like many more storehouses, like 2-store building, 3-store buildings we have seen. And also we can say storehouses means there is something like granaries. What is that? Granaries. Granary ante మనం పండించిన ఆ గ్రెయిన్స్ ని స్టోర్ చేసుకున్న వాటిని ఏమంటారు ఇక్కడ? గ్రానరీస్. క్లియర్ ఎవ్రీవన్? నెక్స్ట్, బికాజ్ IVC people performed agriculture, they performed intensive agriculture, animal husbandry. They also have a good technique in transportation, trading, making of seals, making of tools, ornaments, and many more. Basically, Indus Valley people are like peace-loving people. Peace-loving means they're not engaged in war kind of things. They're mostly engaged in like fun-like activities. They are peace-loving people. Next one, see, archaeologists have found a set of unique objects in almost all the cities. What do you mean by unique objects? I can say unique objects like red pottery, painted and designs in what? Black. Alage there was a stone weights. The stones used for measuring, the stone used as a weights. For example, today we are using 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg. అప్పట్లో వాళ్ళు స్టోన్స్ యూజ్ చేసేవాళ్ళు. ఈరోజు కూడా మన విలేజెస్లో స్టోన్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు చూడండి. వెన్ దే ఆర్ మెజరింగ్ సంథింగ్ దే ఆర్ యూజింగ్ స్టోన్ వెయిట్స్. యూజింగ్ స్టోన్స్ టు మెజర్ ద వెయిట్స్ ఇస్ ఎ టెక్నిక్ ఆఫ్ ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ పీపుల్. అలాగే దేర్ వర్ సీల్స్ లైక్ పశుపతి నాథ సీల్, అమ్మ తల్లి సీల్స్, the seals that are belong to the various animals symbolizing the trade purpose. Alage there are special beads for their making their ornaments. Alage copper tails, alage long stone blades. Enti long stone blades ante, for example ilanti oka stone తీసుకుంటారు, దీనికి ఈ పక్కన షార్పెన్ చేస్తారు, ఇట్ సైడ్ కూడా షార్పెన్ చేస్తారు, and this stone can be used as a blade. This stone can be used as blade. These are called as unique objects that we found almost in every city of Indus Valley or IVC. Clear all of you? Yes. Then what about houses, drains and streets that are present in Indus Valley? Very simple. Houses were either 1-store or 2-store building. I told మనం అంటాంగా మాది G+1, G+2 అంటాం, గుర్తుందా? లైక్ డూప్లెక్స్ అంటాం, గుర్తుందా? ఐవీసీ పీపుల్ ఇట్ క్యాన్ బి లైక్ ఎ సింగిల్ స్టోర్ అండ్ ఇట్ కెన్ బి లైక్ 2-store బిల్డింగ్స్ విత్ రూమ్స్ బిల్డ్ అరౌండ్ కంట్రీ యాడ్, అలాగే సపరేట్ బాత్రూమ్ ఏరియా, అలాగే వెల్ టు సప్లై వాటర్. అండ్ ఐవీసీ పీపుల్ హౌస్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఈజ్ వెరీ క్లియర్ అమ్మా. చాలా నీట్గా ఉండేవి, అలాగే రూమ్స్ ఉండేవి, సపరేట్ బాత్రూమ్ ఉండేది. అలాగే మనం అంటాం కదా లెట్స్ ఎ కంట్రీ యార్డ్ అని, ఇంటి వెనకాల కొంత ప్లేస్ వదులుకుంటాం మొక్కల్ని పెంచుకోవడానికి, యానిమల్స్ని పెంచుకోవడానికి, అవన్నీ కూడా కంట్రీ యార్డ్. దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ సపరేట్ బాత్రూమ్ ఉండేది. దిస్ ఈజ్ లైక్ వెల్ కన్స్ట్రక్టెడ్ హౌసెస్ దట్ వర్ ప్రజెంట్ ఇన్ ఐవీసీ పీపుల్. ఇట్ క్యాన్ బి సింగిల్ స్టోర్ ఆర్ ఇట్ క్యాన్ బి 2-stored buildings that are present. Many of these cities have covered drainage. The most important civilization or the urban feature that is present in IVC Indus Valley law, it is something called drainage system. The drainage system. When you say this Indus Valley, The cities were constructed based on like grid pattern. What do you mean by grid pattern? It is something like chessboard pattern. And each and every street was exactly cut with a right angle. Like చూడండి ఎంత నీట్గా ఎంత లైన్గా ఉంది. This is like chessboard pattern. This is what called their arrangement of the streets, and there was a well-defined drainage system. And చిన్న drainages connected to large drainages. Again, each drainage is having something like manhole to clear all the unwanted dust. Alage the walls of drainage is made with burnt bricks. Today what you see the municipality drainage system, the same level they maintain drainage system along with manholes. Next, life in the cities. Harappan city was very important place. Special buildings were constructed for what? Rulers. I told Harappa or IVC. Something like there is a class system. Higher class, that is a ruling class, like a normal class, common man. For this higher class or ruling class, there will be something called as special buildings that were constructed on Citadel. You know, west part of the town is called Citadel. East part is like a low-lying area where we can see common people lifestyles. Next, men and women or craft persons, terracotta toys. What do you mean? ఇక్కడ men, women ఇద్దరు కూడా చాలా క్రాఫ్ట్లు అనేవి తయారు చేసేవాళ్ళు. అలాగే టెర్రకోటా టాయ్స్ were made up of a kind of clay and all. They can be used for children to play. అలాగే హరప్పాలో we found many seals. For example, seal of Amatalli, seal of Pashupatinath, seal of various animals. What is a seal అండి? ఒక కాయిన్ తీసుకొని ఆ కాయిన్ పైన మనం ఒక ముద్ర వేయటనే ఉంటారు seal. That seal indicates trade purpose. What is that? Trade purpose. Next one, new crafts in the city. మీరు తీసుకుంటే objects were made up of stone. అంటే ఐవీసీ అన్ని సిటీస్లో మనకి ఏం దొరికాయి? స్టోన్తో తయారు చేసిన ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ దొరికాయి. షెల్స్, beads are very much available in Indus Valley people. అలాగే there are metals. What metals available? I'll tell you. Indus Valley people ki they don't know about one metal that is called iron. IVC people were not aware about iron. ఇండియాకి ఐరన్ ఎప్పుడు వచ్చింది అంటే ఈ ఐవీసీ పీపుల్ తర్వాత there was Aryans invasion in India. These Aryans brought iron metal. Sir, before that IVC people don't know iron. They know about copper, they know about bronze, they know about gold, they know about silver, they know all this except iron. So what is the point? IVC people don't know about what? Iron. They knew about all the metals except iron. Copper and bronze were used to make tools, weapons for agriculture, ornaments and vessels. Gold and silver can be used to make ornaments and vessels. మన వెండి గ్లాసులు, వెండి పల్లెలు అనుకుంటాం, గుర్తుందా? అలాగే వెండి కైండ్ ఆఫ్ anklets, all these can be used. Also found beads and weights. I said blades, long stone double-sided blades, right? Harappa also made seals out of stones in a rectangular and animals carved on them. ఇదొక seal అనుకోండి. It can be circular, it can be let us say rectangular, in any model. On this they have depicted god pictures, they depicted animal pictures. Seals are symbolizing trade. Alage pots with the beautiful black designs. You know, there is a pot and every pot is designed with what? Black color. Alage cotton was grown at Meherga. And meaning Indus Valley people knew about cotton. Where did we found evidences of cotton? Where did they grow cotton? It is in Meherga. Stone weights, alage stone blades, we know already. Harappans probably got copper from Rajasthan. I said they know all these metals like copper, bronze, gold and silver. వాళ్ళకి ఇవి ఎక్కడి నుండి వచ్చాయి? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కాపర్ అనేది there are mines called as K3. రాజస్థాన్లో there are copper mines called K3. Probably this IVC people took this copper from K3 mines in Rajasthan. అలాగే woman in West Asia. Tin, copper కలిపితే ఏమంటారు దాన్ని? బ్రాంజ్. So bronze is an alloy. Bronze is an alloy of copper and tin. ఈ టిన్ ఎక్కడ నుండి తీసుకొచ్చాం? ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇరాన్. గోల్డ్ ఎక్కడ నుండి తీసుకున్నాం? కర్ణాటక. అలాగే ప్రీషియస్ స్టోన్స్ ఫ్రమ్, లైక్ ఇట్ కెన్ బి ఏ వాట్, we used various stones like beads and color stones and all there from Gujarat, Iran and Afghanistan. And food for the people in the cities. What are the cities? IVC cities. వాళ్ళ ఫుడ్ పరిస్థితి ఏంటి చెప్పాను కదా, అప్పర్ క్లాస్, లోవర్ క్లాస్, ట్రేడింగ్ కమ్యూనిటీ, అగ్రికల్చరల్ కమ్యూనిటీ. ఐవీసీ పీపుల్లో అప్పర్ క్లాస్ వాజ్ కాల్డ్ లైక్ ట్రేడింగ్ కమ్యూనిటీ, agriculture were called lower communities. The trading community was there on Citadel, that is the elevated part of the city. The agricultural people were living in a plain areas. So obviously these people who are doing agriculture and animal husbandry or rearing of the animals, see, farmers, herders supplied food to the craft persons, rulers in cities. There is a craft people, there are something, let us say, traders. Harappans grows, Harappa city lo, they grow wheat, barley, pulses, pea, rice, sesame, mustard and all these type of crops they have cultivated in Harappan city. Alage plow was used. Sir, plow tells nagali antam gurtundamma. This is meant for tilling the land. Plow was extensively used in IVC people. It is meant for agriculture. Harappans are reared what? They also reared cattle, sheep, goat, buffaloes. And the meaning ఏంటి? Harappan or IVC people know better agriculture, animal husbandry. One class is producing food, another class is consuming food. These are agriculture living in low areas, and the craftsmen and rulers living in upper portion, we call it as Citadel. We call it as Citadel. Let us say hunted wild animals like what? Antelope. The cities like Dholavira, very very important. The cities like, you know, Harappa, you know, Lothal, we know Kalibangan as of now. We know Meherga. Now the cities like what? Dholavira. నేను ఇక్కడ ఓన్లీ ఎన్సీఆర్టీలో ఏముందో అది దానికంటే ఇంకొంచెం ఎక్కువ చెప్తున్నా. ఇది ఓన్లీ 6th క్లాస్ మాత్రమే. వెన్ యు ఆర్ మూవింగ్ ఇన్ టు అదర్ క్లాసెస్, we will be reading a little more about this particular Indus Valley civilization. Clear everyone? Cities of Dholavira was located nearby Run of Kutch. Where is Run of Kutch? Nearby Gujarat, right? Dholavira was divided into 3 parts. We gurtunda IVC cities అనేవి they have divided into 2 or 3 parts in Japan. Let us say 2 parts ante plain areas, elevated areas called Citadel. But there is a city called Dholavira nearby Run of Kutch in Gujarat. This was divided into 3 parts and each part was surrounded by massive stone walls. So which city divided into 3 parts in Indus Valley region? That is Dholavira. And they also have rounded by big stones. They also have the gateways, that is the entryways. Seals were found in Dholavira. The city of Lothal. What is a Lothal? It is a port area. It is a port area. It is having the tributary. అంటే ఈ లోథల్ సిటీ అనేది కూడా గుజరాత్లోనే ఉంది. ఎక్కడ ఉందంటే షబర్మతి ఇన్ గుజరాత్, which is very close to Gulf of Kambat. So Dholavira and Lothal, where they were situated? They were situated in Gujarat. We call them as, especially Lothal, we call it as a port city. There is a warehouses, that is storehouses, granaries. Granaries అంటే మనం ఈ రైస్ని కానీ వీట్ని కానీ బార్లీని కానీ స్టోర్ చేసుకోవడానికి పెట్టుకున్న ప్లేసెస్ని గ్రానరీస్ అంటామమ్మా. Of course, I said Lothal is a dockyard where we have boats and ships which are meant for trading purpose with other civilizations in the world like Mesopotamia, Egypt and all. అలాగే seals are used to stamp bags. మనం వేరే వాళ్ళతో ట్రేడ్ చేస్తుంటే మొత్తం ప్యాక్ చేస్తాం కదా, ఆ ప్యాక్ చేసినప్పుడు ఒక ముద్ర వేయాలిగా, సీల్స్ లాంటివి వి కాల్ ఇట్ లైక్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా సీల్. ఓకే, లైక్ యువర్ కంపెనీ సీల్, దే యూజ్డ్ ఆల్ ద సీల్స్ ఫర్ ట్రేడింగ్ పర్పస్. Like, but how this IVC civilization was ended? There were many reasons. నేను మీకు చెప్పింది వెరీ బేసిక్ అండి, ఓన్లీ బిగినర్స్ని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని చెప్తున్నాను. బికాస్ ఓన్లీ 6th class NCERT ఏముంది అదే చెప్తున్నా. వెన్ యూ గో నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ ఐ టాక్ మోర్ డీటెయిల్ అబౌట్ దెమ్. దేర్ ఐ ఆల్సో కనెక్ట్ దిస్ క్లాస్ విత్ దట్ ఆల్సో, డోంట్ వరీ. ఐవీసీ ఎలా ఎండ్ అయిందంటే, ఒకటి రివర్స్ అనేవి డ్రై అయిపోయి ఉండొచ్చు, 2 డిఫారెస్టేషన్ జరిగి ఉండొచ్చు. అంటే మనం ఎక్కువ ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్కి ఈ లైక్ వుడ్ కట్ చేసాం, ఫైర్ వుడ్ని ఎక్కువ వాడాం. అలాగే ఫైర్ ఆల్టర్స్లో ఏం వాడాం, ఫైర్ వుడ్. బర్న్డ్ బ్రిక్స్ అంటున్నాం, అంటే ఇటుక బడ్డీలు ఉంటాయి కదమ్మా, దానికి ఏం వాడాలి, వుడ్డే వాడాలి. వీటన్నిటి వల్ల డిఫారెస్టేషన్ జరిగింది. మేబీ పీపుల్ మూవ్ ఫ్రమ్ దేర్ టు అనదర్ ఏరియా. అలాగే ఫ్లడ్ వచ్చి ఉండొచ్చు. మేబీ ఇండస్ రివర్ అండ్ అదర్ రివర్స్ మైట్ హ్యావ్ చేంజ్డ్ దేర్ కోర్స్, దట్ కాజెస్ ఫ్లడ్. మేబీ మూవ్ టు ద న్యూ ప్లేసెస్. ఇవన్నీ కూడా జస్ట్ లైక్ ఏ అజంప్షన్స్ మాత్రమే. ఈరోజు కూడా ఇండస్ వ్యాలీ సివిలైజేషన్ దేనివల్ల ఎండ్ అయింది అనడానికి ప్రాపర్ రీజన్ ఎవరు చెప్పలేకపోతున్నారు. We all call them as archaeological reasons cited by various thinkers. This is what information that is present in our 6th class history NCERT, the 3rd chapter. But I'll add little more information now. Let us look into this table. Important sites of Indus Valley. First ఏంటమ్మా మనకి ఇక్కడ Harappa. Harappa, IVC is also called Harappa because it was the first site that was found. Who found this Harappa? 1921 there was a person called Dayaram Sahini was the person who found Harappa. What is there in Harappa? Harappa lo manaki sandstone statues of human anatomy, granaries ఉన్నాయి, అలాగే bullock carts కూడా దొరికాయి. ఎక్కడుంది present Harappa? Present it is located in Pakistan. Next Mohenjo-daro. What is Mohenjo-daro? Mound of Dead అని చెప్పా. It was first discovered by R.D. Banerjee. All of them are like archaeologists. So it is also present in Pakistan right now. In Mohenjo-daro we see Great Bath, granaries, bronze dancing girl. Very very important. ఒక బ్రాంజ్తో తయారు చేయబడి డాన్సింగ్ గర్ల్, ఒక చెయ్యి నడుము పైన పెట్టి ఇలా నిలబడి ఉంటారు. వీ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ అ డాన్స్ బ్రాంజ్ గర్ల్. The idol was found at a place called Mohenjo-daro. అలాగే seal of Pashupatinath, Lord Shiva ఇలా యోగిక్ పోస్చర్లో కూర్చొని చుట్టూరు కొన్ని యానిమల్స్ ఉంటాయి. దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ కాల్డ్ seal of Pashupatinath. It is also found in where? Mohenjo-daro. Why? Because IVC people worshipping Pashupatinath, Amma Talli. They started worshipping female goddesses called Amma Talli. They used worship of Linga and Yoni. Lingam, like a male organ. It is a Yoni, female organ. They started worshipping Linga and Yoni also. So mostly I can say IVC people are Hindu cultured people. So look, what we found in Mohenjo-daro: Great Bath, granaries, bronze dancing girl, seal of Pashupatinath, stereotype statue of beard man. We generally call him as a priest. ఒక బియర్డ్ మ్యాన్ స్టియోటైట్ సింబల్ దొరికింది, ఒక రాయితో చేయబడిన సింబల్ బియర్డ్ మ్యాన్. దాన్ని ఏమంటారంటే ప్రీస్ట్ అంటారు. ఎక్కడ దొరికింది మనకి అది? మొహంజోదారో. అలాగే పీస్ ఆఫ్ కాటన్ క్లాత్స్. ఐ టోల్డ్ ఐవిసి పీపుల్ గ్రో కాటన్ ఎట్ మెహర్గా అని చెప్పాను, గుర్తుందా? సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద థింగ్స్ దట్ వి ఫౌండ్ ఇన్ వేర్? Mohenjo-daro, important city of IVC. Next one, Sutka gender. 1-2 సార్లు వింటే మీకు అవే గుర్తుంటాయి. మీకు ఇంకా బాగా గుర్తుండాలంటే ఇంటర్నెట్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఐవీసీ సైట్స్ అని కొట్టండి. అది వచ్చిన తర్వాత పక్కన ఇమేజెస్ అని ఉంటాయి. ఇమేజెస్ చూడండి, మీకు క్లియర్గా కనిపిస్తాయి ఇవి ఎక్కడెక్కడ లొకేట్ అయి ఉన్నాయి అనేది. ఓకేనా ఎవ్రీవన్? ఎస్. లుక్, Sutka gender. So like it is present in Pakistan. We can see a trade point between Harappa and Babylon. Alage Chanhudaro is a place. It was founded by Majumdar. We can see nearby Indus River it is. We can see bead maker shop. Alage footprint of dog chasing a cat. In particular place, what is the place here is Chanhudaro. This Chanhudaro is the city which don't have citadel. Chanhudaro is a city which don't have citadel. I'll tell you more about this in upcoming classes, only 6th class, okay? Chanhudaro lo oka dog chasing a cat, ఆ ఫుట్ ప్రింట్స్ కనిపించాయి. Alage another place called Amri. Amri, where we found antelope evidence. It is a wild animal, antelope. Kalibangan. Kalibangan, I told this is present in Rajasthan on the banks of Gaggar river. Kalibangan was present in Rajasthan on the river called Gaggar river. ఇక్కడ ఫైర్ ఆల్టర్స్ దొరికాయి, క్యామెల్ బోన్స్ దొరికాయి, వుడెన్ ప్లవ్ చెప్పాను కదా నాగలి అనేది, వుడెన్ ప్లవ్ వాజ్ ఫౌండ్ ఎట్ కాలిబంగన్. నెక్స్ట్ ఐ టోల్డ్ లోథల్. Lothal is a port city. Lothal, Kalibangan, both are present in where? Look at this, boys. When I say this particular Lothal, this is present in Gujarat, where we can see artificial dockyard, where we can see man-made port, which is nothing but artificial dockyard, rice husk, fire altars, and there is a chess playing. I'll tell you this point. The Indus Valley people are peace-loving people. Whenever there is a free time, they used to play dice, they used to play chess, they used to go for dancing. And IVC people అనేవాళ్ళు చాలా పీస్ లవింగ్ పీపుల్. ఖాళీ టైం దొరికిందంటే they'll decorate themselves, they'll wear the lipstick by using lapis lazuli, they also decorate themselves with the gold, silver, bronze, they love decorating themselves. IVC people is also have some time pass games like dancing, like chess, like playing dice. These are their time pass things. IVC people are peace loving. These are important cities that are there in India as a part of Indus Valley civilization. These cities are examples for early urban culture in India. Early urban culture in India, best example IVC. So what are the civilizations that are happened across the world? India, IVC. Egypt civilization, Mesopotamian civilization that was happened in China.